Hello, dear students. Today I am going to discuss a topic on the Indian economy. In GS, I would like to tell you it constitutes the part third of the GS paper as suggested by the UPSC. Accordingly, it has been set in GS paper third in the UP PCS examination as well. I would like to tell you that Indian economy constitutes one of the core subjects in the GS, and accordingly it has been given in paper third. It comprises several chapters, 8 of which are very significant. But let me first discuss some basic concepts of the Indian economy. The first one, that here I am going to distinguish between the Indian economy and the economics. I would like to tell you the economics is an academic subject, academic discipline, where in fact a particular scholar is preoccupied with the framework of approach, or you can say models or theories, where he makes certain assumptions and accordingly he set out his theories. In fact, he makes certain predictions based on those assumptions and accordingly he draws a conclusion. I would like to tell you Indian economy is different from the economics. Indian economy, in fact, is a system where under which and by which someone tries to earn his livelihood. I would like to tell you that government is also primarily concerned with the economy, not economics. That's why it constitutes a core concept or core subject in the general studies as well. I would like to tell you, after telling the difference between the Indian economy and the economics, I am going to discuss certain other basic concepts related to the economy. I would like to tell you that economy is of three types. First one is a social, second one on the basis of ideology. What I mean to say, on the basis of ideology, it is social, it is capital, it is mixed, or it could be mixed. If it is social, so it has certain features which I am going to discuss. For example, in means of production and distribution are in the hands of the government or the state, whichever by whichever name you should call it. The best example comes from China and Cuba. In fact, these are two modern states where still most of the production and distributions are in the hands of the state. However, China has adopted market socialism in 1978 under Deng Xiaoping, and accordingly it offers counter guarantee. That's why majority of the world enterprises are attracted there, and they go there for doing business. Insofar as Cuba is concerned, its central policy is socialism, where it believes in Marxian principle of from each according to his need and to each according to his necessity. I would like to tell you that Cuba also presents an example of socialism where means of production and distribution, what I mean to say, are in the hands of the state. I would like to tell you that the state decides the policies and accordingly distributes economic resources among the populace. Insofar as other features are concerned, in fact, nationalization is the feature of mixed economy where socialism partially exists. It is not a feature of the socialism because their every productive activities are in the hands of the state, hence no question of nationalization and administrative price regime or administered price regime. But certainly there exist two things, haves and have nots. In fact, government policy is primarily directed to have nots, that is the poor, not to the haves, that is to the rich. In other words, government policy favors the poor and the government tries to bring about equality in the society by redistributing the resources, by taking away the surplus from the rich and redistributing them among the poor in the populace or in the population. The third feature is that price mechanism is central to the state. The state, in fact, through price mechanism, controls the prices of productive items or productive, you can say, instruments such as cars and fridge, even luxury items like cars, fridge, and ACs, etc. And it is an reverse in the capitalism where the private enterprises themselves set the prices and accordingly it is sold in the market. I would like to tell you that these things don't happen in socialism. This is decided by the center and accordingly the private enterprises which are again under control from the state, in fact they only contribute to the capital and they work accordingly according to the policy of the government, what I mean to say, and accordingly they set their prices as per the government direction. They are not at liberty to set such prices as happens in the capitalism. So there exists a price mechanism. The government, in fact, through price mechanism brings about equality in the society or attempts to bring about equality in the society. That is another reason why socialism failed in most parts of the world and capitalism succeeded. But that we would be discussing later. Even in India in 2004, in modern breweries case, the Supreme Court opined that socialism is losing its importance and giving way to capitalism. That we would be discussing later. I would like to tell you, for the time being, it is necessary to discuss the features of the three different ideological tools, that is socialism, capitalism, and mixed economy. These are in fact models that comprise several theories. So the first feature that every production and distributive activities or activity is controlled by the state. Secondly, I would like to tell you the second feature of this one is that there exist haves and have-nots, and government directs its policy towards have-nots, not haves. In fact, it takes away surplus from the haves and redistributes them among the have-nots, that is the poor, who have been deprived historically of the basic needs, and in fact they are provided succor by the state so that they could claim parity in the society. There is absence of privileges, what I mean to say. Thirdly, I would like to tell you that price mechanism is central to government policy. Government through its policy controls the prices of every item. Most of the activities in fact are in the hands of the state itself. Some of the activities are in the hands of the private sectors, but they are too in fact obliged to work according to the policy of the government. Hence, I would like to tell you that there are three basic features of socialism. Now coming to the capitalism. In capitalism, I would like to tell you that there exist in fact private enterprises who are free from the state control to decide to set their prices and decide the extent of their productivity level. I would like to tell you that they decide which items to produce and which items not to produce, and their market in fact is the biggest distributor of resources, not the state. So there is a difference between socialism and capitalism. It is state versus market. In fact market there dictates its terms, and private enterprises are free to set their prices of the items they produce or they make. Secondly, there exists affluent society, those in fact who controls the resources of the state or means of the state, in or you can say a nation. They in fact command heights in the society. So there it could be haves and have-nots, as J.K. Galbraith in 1978 in his book Affluent Society noted. In fact, he was talking of the US, where there exist the rich and the poor. Similar things happen here in India. Nearly 8% resources are being controlled by nearly, you can say, 40% of the in fact 8% resources are controlled, sorry, 40% resources are being controlled by 2% people here in India. But it is a bit different in the US, where 40% resources are controlled by 8% of the populace, as this is the data. I would like to tell you, remaining, in fact, 92% resources are being distributed among the remaining populace, that is 60% there. However, things are a bit different here in India. While in India, equality should have been more prominent, but it is not the case, as the Supreme Court had noted in several its cases. I would like to tell you that the Supreme Court came down heavily on the government for failing to bring about parity in the society. I would like to tell you that there exist have and have-nots. Thirdly, price is the price mechanism there. In fact, there is cutthroat competition through in the price, which is fought through price mechanism. In fact, if Maruti reduces the prices of its units or unit cars, Hyundai would follow suit, and it would accordingly reduce the prices of its car as well. If Maruti in fact increases the prices of its unit cars, similarly Hyundai would also increase the prices of its unit cars. So this way things go on there. However, since it gives a good amount of initiative to the people, that's why people, instead of being dolared, take full initiative and full interest in this one, and in fact puts in every slogging to get extra benefit from their endeavor at the workplace, because the largesse or the ultimate benefit goes to them. In other words, they are the ultimate beneficiary of whatever they contribute to increasing their enterprises. Hence, price mechanism is fought there through cutthroat competition. In other words, one unit vie with another to, in fact, get better of the market, and market there decides what in fact things should be there, like, in fact, pocket spells out competition there. But insofar as socialism is concerned, even if you don't have money in your pocket, you can go and request the state in masses, not individually, what I mean to say, in groups, there, to dole out certain charities to you. This could not be seen in capitalism. However, through welfare, government tries its best to bring about parity in the society, but to what extent, it is a matter of analysis. Now the third ideological instrument is mixed economy. It was introduced on 10th April 1948 by Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, who was the first industry minister of independent India. I would like to tell you that he introduced this mixed economy in his new industrial policy resolution, which he in fact placed before the public on 10th April 1948. It became officially acceptable, or you can say officially pronounced, on 10th April 1956, when Pandit Nehru in fact unveiled it and launched a second 5-year plan. I would like to tell you, this mixed economy has certain features of capitalism, has certain features of socialism. In other words, capitalism and socialism both coexist in mixed economy model. Capitalism simply because several capitalists, right from Jamnalal Bajaj, Mohandas, and Ghanshyam Das Birla, they all helped Gandhiji and Congress during their fight against colonial powers. So the government can't shut its eyes from their contribution. Secondly, that these capitalist class, in fact, our classes provided needed succor to the national movement by doling out money from their pockets, be it to Mahatma Gandhi, to Pandit Nehru, and to others. I would like to tell you, just as certain states contributed to freeing the country from the clutches of the foreign yoke or foreign control, similarly, some capitalist class also contributed to this. That's why India adopted mixed economy model, partially socialist and partially capitalist. I would like to tell you, halfway socialist and halfway capitalist. However, as the Supreme Court lamented, I would like to tell you, currently it is capitalism which is more prominent or more pronounced. It could be seen more prominently in practice than socialism. Socialism relates to Article 39B and 39C of the Indian Constitution, where the focus is on bringing about parity in the society. That is done by the state, taking away surplus from the rich and redistributing them among the poor. For example, Mukesh Ambani should have been contributing more by way of giving more taxes, income tax, GST, or whatever, to the government, and the government using these resources to redistribute it among the poor by launching several social welfare programs. I would like to tell you, this way things could not be addressed to a larger extent, but certainly to a certain extent it could be done. I would like to tell you that this way the government is working day in and day out to, in fact, bring about parity in the society. But the government, despite all its efforts, is not showing the way it should have been. In fact, the government has failed miserably in its policy to bring about parity in the society. That's why several politicians have been using the poor classes to their advantage by giving out false promises to them during election campaigns. I would like to tell you that recently a few unemployment data, in fact, has been dished out by the government or by a private agency, that is CMIE, Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. According to the CMIE, in fact, unemployment rate in India is a whopping 12.5%, but according to the government, it is below 5%. In fact, the government is boasting of controlling unemployment to a larger extent, as Piyush Goyal 2 days back, in fact, came out with a new theory by showing that Narendra Modi government has created more than 10 crore jobs during its 10 years of office. I would like to tell you to what extent it is true, but certainly people have not got benefit from this one. It is one of the reasons of the defeat of the government at the hustings. In fact, majority of persons, be it private jobs or government jobs or any self employment jobs, I would like to tell you that the government has not been able to create more job opportunities in the market. That's why CMIE has come out with this new theory. Especially, it has been giving out regular data since 2020, when COVID-19 hit the government hard and hit the society hard as well. I would like to tell you that since then, the problem of migrant workers and others have prominently figured in the discussion, and several economists also opined that the government should have done much better, or should have reacted much better way to addressing these problems. But the government kept mum, especially after Delta variant of corona, in fact, hit hard the society, claiming several lives. Thereafter, in fact, economy was in doldrum, but the government did not do much to take them out of the doldrum. However, the government was harping back on the world scenario, saying that since the world was also facing such problems, the government of India has succeeded to a large extent in bringing about parity in the society. In fact, in taking away people from the state of morass to a state of happiness by offering jobs and job opportunities and by keeping inflation rate under check. Whatever be the case, that is a matter of analysis. We are only here saying two versions of two different agencies, one controlled by the government, another not controlled by the government, another is a private agency. I would like to tell you, it is up to us to analyze things, but for the time being, it is a time to call it a day. That is, we are going to end the lecture. Thank you for watching this.